So it's the superstars or the giants of world cricket, India versus giant killers Afghanistan in the Super 8s of the T20 Cricket World Cup. I have with me at this hour our two cricket experts, former Test cricketer Ashok Malhotra and former Indian cricketer Abhishek Nair. Well, Ashok, coming to you, Afghanistan, the last time we met them, they pushed us to the wall, two double super overs. Are they capable of repeating the feat? I mean, we understand that this is a World Cup stage, but can Afghanistan do a similar thing?
See, you can't take them lightly. You know, they are a side which is a come of age, which is challenging the big ones of the world cricket. But the fact is that they've got a very good spin attack. You know, and not to forget their batters have come of age since the coach has changed. The coach has instilled in them to stay put at the wicket. And then you got Gurbaz, Ibrahim Jadran, and Nazibullah. There's a lot of cricketers who can hit. And not to forget Nabi, who come to a party when there is a need of the hour. But the fact is, if they put runs on the board, they can be very lethal. So we can't take them lightly. We got to be careful with the Afghans.
Abhishek, a lot of talk about mystery spinners. How mysterious are spinners going to be on both sides?
Well, I think when you say mystery spin, luckily there are no mystery spinners in their team. They are good wrist spinners in Rashid Khan and Noor Ahmed. It's always been hard against them. But the good news for India is Surya Kumar Yadav and Shivam Dubey in particular, strike really well against him. Surya's got very good numbers, 58 balls, 86 runs, hasn't got out to Rashid Khan. Shivam Dubey, on the other hand, he's at 155. And generally, left-handers have done pretty well against Rashid Khan. So it'll be interesting how India use the likes of Akshar Patel and Ravindra Jadeja. But, the good thing is a lot of these players have played against the likes of Rashid, Noor Ahmed, Mohammad Nabi through the IPL. So they are terrific spinners, but the Indian batters have had a lot of game time against these bowlers. So in that regard, I think it's always going to be challenging, but India is in safe hands in terms of experience versus these bowlers.
Since we're talking about Indian batting, let's also talk about the tournament moving to West Indies, India playing in West Indies for the first time. Ashok, would you say that the batters particularly will be heaving a sigh of relief at this point?
Definitely, in the USA leg, the bowlers are bailing us out. But now it is a turn of the batter because we are a very strong batting lineup with the Surya coming to the party. Shivam Dubey, as Abhishek said, had a good knock. So all in all, a wonderful, and not to forget, maybe when he talked about two left-handers, he forgot Rishabh Patu, the one man who can tackle them, tackle in the power play and all that. But all in all, a wonderful side. And probably they'll be a bit relaxed. Now they are in a familiar condition where the ball comes onto the bat. The wickets are, especially in St. Lucia, wickets is very good. Barbados wicket is very good. So all in all, I see them getting 200 runs. So you might see IPL, we were so used to getting 200 plus runs. Maybe they will start with this against Afghanistan. But we have to get off to a good start. It's a time that Kohli and Rohit start firing.
Abhishek, Ashok mentioned about Kohli. What would he be thinking at this moment? He hasn't had runs in the tournament so far, but he's one of those, big guns in the team, and lot of expectations heaped on him.
Yeah, I think the one thing he's used to is obviously failing. He's failed a lot in his career, in his very successful career. So I'm pretty sure he knows how to come back from that. You always expect the big guns to fire at the big stages. Yes, the league phase wasn't the ideal for Virat and for a Rohit, even though Rohit got a 50 in the league stages. But, like I said earlier, that when you come into West Indies, it's known territory. They played a lot of cricket in the West Indies. They played a lot of cricket at Barbados. So a lot of their senior players will have experience of playing in those conditions, a lot more than the Afghans. So I feel in that regard, Virat Kohli will be able to formulate a better plan. The ball may not seam and swing as much as it has in the US. So, a lot of things I believe will work in India's favor. Virat Kohli, we spoke about this the last time around as well, will want to take a bit of time, a few balls before he starts playing those big shots. But King Kohli, when it always matters the most, has arrived. So we'll cross our fingers and hope that he arrives today.
Abhishek, while talking about Virat Kohli, I really have to ask you: is this the best of Virat Kohli as an ODI batter? As a T20 batter, we are seeing he's in the annals of the ODI greats. But when it comes to T20 batting, is this the best phase what we have seen him in IPL?
Well, I think the IPL, I think he's batted better, he's got more runs. But I honestly believe that the shots he's been playing and his intent has changed a lot. We've seen him get hundreds. We've seen him have seasons where he's got 900,000 runs in an IPL. But I felt this year was slightly different because he took the attack to the oppositions. You saw him play the slog sweep a lot more, which he doesn't normally do. He was very aggressive against spin. He tried to make sure he upped his strike rate as well. He was batting at 160, 170 against spin in the middle overs, which is not something you see with Virat Kohli. So there has been a change in his thought process. There has been a change in his approach. It'll be hard to say if he's at his best. What I can definitely say, he's upped his game in terms of his strike rate.
Ajay, when we talk about the matchups in this match, which are the ones you are going to be looking out for?
See, I would like to see Virat and Rohit against Farooqi because he brings the ball back in, and they are a little bit suspect when the ball comes back in. I know once 1-2 over goes, then they are on top of their left-hander, but initially they are a bit suspect. So this is one, and then Rashid and Rishabh Pant. Rashid, as Abhishek said, he's not very good against the left-hander. I think he's kind of intimidated by the left-handers, and we've got four of them. So definitely, I think Rishabh and Rashid are two R's will be up against each other.
Okay, R and R for you. Abhishek, let's hear from you. Who are your matchups to watch out for in this game?
Well, it's quite interesting. Ashok Paji said that, Farooqi versus Rohit and Virat because, ironically, Netrawalkar got both of them out. A similar left-arm fast bowler, can bring the ball back in, takes it away. So it'll be interesting how they go against him because he's also the highest wicket taker in this World Cup for the Afghans. So I will definitely, second that in terms of matchup. And then you always want to say Rashid Khan versus the likes of Surya Kumar Yadav, Rishabh Pant, Shivam Dube. But in particular, I think one bowler that I'm quite interested in terms of how he's going to do against this Indian batting lineup is Noor Ahmed. I think he's someone who's going to bring a different element to this team. So for me, it's going to be Noor Ahmed versus a Rishabh Pant to see how a Rishabh Pant takes on the Noor Ahmed Googly.
So Noor Ahmed is going to be your X factor in this game?
From the Afghan side, definitely. From the Indian side, everyone's my X factor. I want everyone to fire. So I'm hoping everyone's an X factor today. But I just feel Noor Ahmed, who's gone under the radar with this Afghanistan team, is someone who could pose a threat to the Indian side.
Rita, what Abhishek is forgetting is the World Cup. And we are a champion side when we play a two-nation matches, three-nation matches. But when it comes to World Cup, we are found wanted. So somewhere along the line, I'm a bit tense because it's a tough game. It is not an easy game because you can't take them lightly. They are a side which is coming of age, which is gradually growing in stature. So definitely got to be a little bit careful, and our batting has not been firing. And as Abhishek very rightly said, Virat will have to play a little differently what he played in IPL.
That you reckon this is going to be a tough game?
Definitely, it is going to be tough. Any game in playoff is not going to be easy. Believe you me.
Okay, before we talk about Indian bowlers, let's talk about one gentleman who really has not provided value being in the team as yet, Ravindra Jadeja. Abhishek, Rahul Dravid mentioned about getting in one of the wrist spinners. Do you see, Jadeja's spot being compromised for that, or one fast bowler being benched?
Well, I think it's going to be interesting as to how the Indian team thinks. Ravindra Jadeja does bring the batting in, and he's always been someone solid in the Indian team. Yes, maybe hasn't performed to the expectations of the team or himself. But you always want a Ravindra Jadeja in the setup. You always want him there because if not the bat, not the ball, he'll add value in the field. I believe India's playing the right combination right now. If they want to bring a wrist spinner, they're going to either go short on their batting or either go short on their fast bowling. So from my point of view, in any T20 setup, having three spinners is always going to be hard. So the only thing I see happening is India playing the same team, not making too many changes, unless they're playing against someone like a West Indies or a team like Australia, who they feel Kuldeep Yadav will be very effective against.
Ashok, who do you reckon will come in? Is it Kuldeep or Chahal? Who's your pick for the match?
See, I'll go with Kuldeep the way he's going, but as I agree with Abhishek that there's not going to be any changes because anyway, Rahul Dravid is a very old-fashioned coach who believes that you don't camper with the winning combination. So I don't see very many changes because we're going to go with the same team unless we lose one game here or there. Then you might see one or two changes, but as of now, I don't see any changes.
Okay, you see the same 11 going.
Yes,
to the
please.
same.
Yeah.
Okay. Now, last but not the least, Ashok, I would like to know your X factors for the game. Abhishek has spoken about his, but who are your X factors for the game?
See, I would go with Virat Kohli because I'm a die-hard fan of Virat Kohli. When the going gets tough, Virat Kohli is always there. When Team India needs it, he's always there. So I expect him to score maybe 100, maybe an 80, maybe 90. But I think the X factor for this game is going to be Virat.
Okay, interesting. We'll have to wait and see. And as Ashok says, it's not going to be an easy match for Team India. It's the first of the Super 8 matches that India plays against Afghanistan, and the caravan has now moved to West.